All right, so I've been getting a lot of messages about this video by Carl Yops, and apparently it involves a blindfold cheating speedrunner. Let's just get into it.
Hello, you absolute legends. Last month, the streamer known as Queen Ponsalot pretended to beat the dragon Alatreon wearing a blindfold. This garnered her quite—
Oh, so it's a blindfold. Okay, my bad, not a speedrun. So blindfold Alatreon on Monster Hunter World. I play a lot of Monster Hunter World. I like that. Alatreon's kind of a bitch.
a lot of attention. But when people experienced with the game she was playing, and those experienced in blindfold speedrunning saw her video, they realized immediately it was fake. Unfortunately, Queen Ponsalot's effort of faking a blindfolded run was extremely poor. Not only was she using strategies that are just flat out impossible to use while blind, but the blindfold she was using was so thin and obviously fake.
Oh yeah, you can see.
Could see.
You can see right here, like right through it. What?
Straight through it. Soon enough, people were making videos calling out her fake run, and Queen Ponsalot was beginning to get quite a lot of negative attention. As it turns out, the public doesn't appreciate liars and people who try to fake gaming accomplishments for clout. After receiving backlash, Queen Ponsalot fought back, announcing that she was going to do another blindfolded run of the dragon Alatreon, but this time with more proof. On the 14th of February, she went live, and she was stacked to the gills with ironclad anti-cheat measurements.
So I've seen a few people actually do this. Specifically one guy, I can't remember. It was very, very impressive. But I'm watching this recorded like gameplay footage of her already, and I already don't feel like it's right. When you're doing like a blindfold run on Monster Hunter, because can be described as a dodge, attack, dodge kind of gameplay. When you're doing something speedrun or what's the word, blindfold, you kind of act a little robotic. Like I don't know, how do you describe it? Kind of like when you get that perfect run and you look back at that perfect run, that perfect kill on any of the monsters in the game once you've been playing for a while, you're almost robotic. You make only the most necessitative movement and attacks that you need to do. You don't do any extra stuff. It's kind of like a Warhammer Space Marine. They only do and move in the most efficient way possible. And when you're blindfold or doing a speed run or anything like that, in Monster Hunter especially, you could see similarities like that where you're doing very pinpoint movement and no extra stuff, you know? And you're looking at their gameplay right here, it's kind of like,
This time she wore a genuine blindfold. She had a hand cam, she had input display, she had paper covering up her monitors, and she was live. Surely there was absolutely no way she could cheat. And with all of this in place, she did it again. She beat the dragon Alatreon in front of hundreds of people. She was so convincing that it seemed like everyone now believed she was legit.
But anyway, yeah, it looks like the Alatreon blindfold kill was actually real. It did actually happen.
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Queen Ponsalot was just more gifted than everyone else, and she could really do things blindfolded that no one else could.
Sorry,
or maybe, just maybe, she just cheated again, and we don't know how. Honestly, when I first saw her new successful attempt, I didn't know how she did it. But I did know two things. One, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And two, people always underestimate the autistic power of speedrunners. I was committed to finding out how this was done.
Yeah, like I said, you when you're speedrunning, man, you're robotic in nature. You're doing everything pinpoint in the most optimal way possible. And yeah, like you can see her taking like wide turns and everything in her gameplay in these to dodge like certain things. I don't know, it's not right. She blindfolded, she has her monitors covered, right? So the only thing that comes to mind for me is that maybe it's pre-recorded.
Sophisticated cheating methods that would be impossible to detect. I figured that whatever Queen Ponsalot did must be pretty genius to fool everyone so easily. For 3 days, I meticulously studied her video. I worked with experts to clarify game mechanics. I spoke with programmers to see if we could replicate her run using advanced software.
No,
but I was getting
that wouldn't work.
nowhere. And then, after 72 hours of running into dead ends, I finally saw it. I noticed that Queen Ponzelot did something that gave everything away. The curtain was lifted, and the magician had exposed her secrets. I had the smoking gun, and within 20 minutes of seeing Queen Ponzelot do this.
Is she? She can see out that blindfold. Right there. Right on the nose.
One thing
I don't know.
we knew
I think maybe it's
exactly
pre-recorded.
how she did it,
I don't know.
We had the proof. As it turns out, I was on the wrong track the entire time. I thought the method she used must have been smart because no one detected it. But in the end, it turned out to be the simplest and dumbest method I could have imagined. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how Queen Ponzelot faked her most recent blindfolded takedown of the dragon Alatreon. And I guarantee that you'll be shocked at just
like, why would you run away like that? Like, you would rather dodge and stay.
I hope you enjoy.
You know what attack that is. Why would you run
let's
like that?
be honest. If you're watching my channel, it's because you are a gigantic nerd. I'm a huge nerd. You're a huge nerd. That's just the way it is.
That's how it is.
Nerds, there is nothing more important or fulfilling than having a really good...
What is this? I'm going to guess. War Thunder. It's got to be War Thunder.
Gaming PC. Which is why you should invest in a PC from today's sponsor, Starforge Systems. Starforge makes things super easy, especially for people like me who don't know how or just don't want to build their own PC. They offer amazing pre-built PCs at all different price points. So if you go in with a certain budget,
pre-built can be nice,
going to get the best you can for your money. Starforge PCs are used by tons of your favorite creators, including myself. They are built by hand in Austin, Texas by experienced builders. They look beautiful and they run smoothly. Plus, they are reliable, coming with a full 2-year parts and labor warranty. I rely on my PC for absolutely everything, including this YouTube channel. My standards are extremely high. I need something powerful and I need something quiet. And the PC I got from Starforge Systems was literally everything I could have asked for. Please get yourself a PC you deserve. The link to Starforge Systems will be in the description. Go and check out their PCs today.
Check it out. Need a PC.
In my previous video, we looked at Queen Ponzelot's earlier blindfolded run.
And she has a heart rate monitor too. Really thin, that was her first run.
Sheet of material to cover her eyes and pretended that she couldn't see. In this case, it was so easy to debunk because everyone can just use their own eyes and see that her blindfold was fake.
Yeah, you're gonna see through that.
It's also really obvious that she can see as well. She claims to use the audio to know exactly where the monster is, but years of blindfolded competition tells us that this is impossible. I also highlighted that beyond knowing where the monster is, it's also impossible to detect whether you are looking up or down. So if you see a blindfolded player using their mouse to look up or down, you know they can see. In her latest attempt, we see all of those impossible gameplay mechanics in action once again.
When you're playing Monster Hunter, man, there's like the game is so cinematic that it makes you want to look up at the monster and what everything's doing. But if you're blindfold, like why would you do that, you know? Like, if anything, that can mess with your aim later on. You need to, especially if you're using a friggin' mouse and keyboard, man. Using a mouse to aim on Monster Hunter World, holy, like your camera can go all crazy, and that's gonna affect your aim, your positioning, everything. Like, why? This is just so weird. Like,
and in some cases,
a red flag.
Worse. She will access the menu in order to use items and mess up with the camera, and then immediately and perfectly fix it. She even does this when the dragon is not making any sounds at all, so there is quite literally no audio cue, like in this example.
Why are you looking up and then down?
Beyond the
Wait, hold on a second.
Beyond the impossible no audio cue, like in this example.
So, I don't know about you guys, but I was stuck on Alatreon for a little bit. This NPC dialogue thing, every person that I have seen that has done like a blindfold or a speedrun kill of Alatreon, when you play the game and you're going to put yourself up into that high level of skill and gameplay for Monster Hunter World, You know what's funny? Everyone has this guy turned off in NPC's speech. Like, they'll still come up on the side of the screen, I think, but the actual speech, you can barely hear it because of the judgment attack. But the actual speech, the voice acting, is turned off. And especially, like, if you're doing blindfold and the only thing that you're relying on is sound cues, of course you're going to turn that off. Because you don't want anything getting in the way of being able to listen for Alatreon's attacks and stuff. And if you don't know, Alatreon actually has very, very good sound cues for all of his abilities and attacks. I think for the most part. There might be one that's a little weird, like the head sway one. I don't know how to call it. He does it like twice. It's a dragon attack too. His horns glow red or whatever. That one could be a little hard, I think. But for the most part, everything else is like you can hear it very well. So everyone will turn the voice acting off because these people come up on your fucking screen all the time.
Beyond the impossible vertical movement, we also see crazy head tracking in real time that is just laughable.
What?
I mean, just look at this gameplay.
In no way. Like, why would you do that too? It doesn't... Looking up isn't going to make you reach up higher. I don't know. It could be a mouse slip though. Right? Like she instinctively moves her mouse up. She just doesn't know that it's...
In the last clip, she is rolling underneath the dragon, keeping the camera on its head perfectly as she does it. It's hilarious. And remember, looking up does nothing. It doesn't let her hit any higher. So there is literally no point in doing this other than to see the head, which makes no sense if you're blindfolded. All of this seems very confusing because she appears to be wearing a proper blindfold. And as I mentioned before,
look how she's sitting, man. 1,000% right there. You're sitting like you're like trying a little head nod there, little chin turn. I don't know, man.
Or her monitors are even covered up with paper, meaning that
but her monitors are covered up, right? So what's she looking at?
Other ways she might be playing without seeing. One way would be some kind of aimbot. Aimbots are common in many games, so it's possible if she had some kind of sophisticated software, it could help her aim on the dragon.
An aimbot would be to
locating the dragon and also solve the vertical aiming issue. However, this wouldn't solve all of the problems.
An aimbot would be too like, you know, like that. It would turn the camera very fast and suddenly, repeatedly. And I'm not seeing that here, so I don't think it's an aimbot.
That don't have sound cues. In one instance, she accidentally hooked onto Alatreon.
That attack, by the way, right here, that's what I was talking about. There's two.
In one instance, she accidentally hooks onto Alatreon's leg instead of its head, and immediately releases before targeting the head again. But there is no audible difference between hooking onto the leg or the head, so there is no way she should have known. In order to solve issues like this, I theorized that...
Okay, and it's straight up, alright? First of all,
so there is no
why are you standing there? And if you're running away, this attack, I don't care how good you are. He summons these lightning bolts all around him. They're all in like different patterns around him, I swear. Unless they're static and the same every time. I don't think they are, but like, there's no way you're going to know where these are. There's no sound cue or anything. You can't see. She like ran right through one, so I don't... The wide swing turns again. And when you're doing this attack, when he does this attack, you want to stay like under him. Because these lightning bolts, I'm pretty sure, will never spawn like under his belly or under his chest.
In order to solve issues like this, I theorized that maybe someone was talking to her and giving her instructions through Discord.
Oh yeah,
in her ear and some aim assist software.
She's wearing.
Might be able to play like this.
She's wearing headphones.
Sight. I reached out to Monster Hunter World
She's trying to hear, right? Because that's the only thing you're working on. You're working with.
First known aimbot of the game. According to him, if she was using an aimbot to achieve...
That was an aimbot? Look how janky that is. Look how, like, sudden, how it jerks the screen.
The first known aimbot of the game. According to
That's
him,
an aimbot.
if he was using an aimbot to achieve this effect, it would require software far more sophisticated than anyone in the community currently possesses. It seems unlikely that this was the method. The most common theory I saw online was that she was using pre-recorded gameplay.
Yeah, pre-recorded, that's what I think.
Alatreon earlier and just played that gameplay footage during her live stream. Something like this has been done before.
Yeah, people do that shit all the time in speedrunning.
Speedrunner who cheated by using a pre-recorded run during a live charity marathon. on. However,
Charities,
I didn't believe
how
this was the case.
Come on, dude.
Queen Ponsalot had 2 cameras, and they were both completely in sync. I studied her mouse movements, and they always seemed to match what was going on in the game. And so did her keyboard inputs. Her mouse sensitivity.
Well, that could be pre-recorded
too. A lot
too,
of movements
right?
are hard to see, but I couldn't see any.
She could have somehow cheated, probably with audio here. Pre-recorded her face and her hands and the keyboard and everything that you see on a stream could be pre-recorded. It's so easy to fake things online, especially streaming. Like, just because it's a live stream doesn't mean it's really live, you know? That's what I think. I think it's pre-recorded.
It did appear as though she was actually playing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this also ruled out the idea that someone else was playing instead of her, perhaps by using remote assistance. This is an idea that
would
the
rule that
YouTuber
out.
Abisoft spent some time investigating to see if it could work. But aside from her mouse movements matching her gameplay, latency issues would also be a huge problem. Some people suggested that she was using a magician's blindfold and she could see through it.
As a magician, I could immediately tell you the extra real blindfold she used is one for magic tricks, usually oversized as hell, and the capability to appear both opaque and transparent to the wearer. After looking way too long, I can't find the blindfold I was thinking of online, and it could be entirely possible that it was pre-recorded gameplay as well. Okay. Although anyone who knows about mentalism tricks knows that there are a billion ways to fake a blindfold, so it's still a possibility until proven otherwise. My initial judgment was most likely wrong, though.
But this is extremely unlikely.
Her
blindfold doesn't look like any fake blindfold I could find, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert Mitriz has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and
you see his camera?
we noticed this immediately too, is that after Queen Ponsalot killed Alatreon and lifted the paper up, there was something on her screen. And it seemed like she noticed this and moved the paper back down to try and hide it.
I pause it. What is on the screen?
What is that?
And what is on the thing?
What is that? It's like down there. Down here. Hard to see, though. Looks like a menu of some sort. Windows? That's not Windows, is it? Is that the Windows key? Oh my god, it's the Windows key.
Is Monster Hunter on?
I literally just pressed it myself, and then the same menu came up.
Puts it back down to cover.
Where'd you hit the Windows key?
She's quickly trying to hide it. And then the game comes back up on screen.
This is the Windows Start menu, and the reason it appeared is because she hit the Windows key. In fact, she hits the Windows key multiple times throughout her blindfolded attempts. This bugged the hell out of us, and we had no idea why she was doing it. Could this have something
Maybe she was
to do
trying
with
to
how she was
hit
faking her gameplay? At seemingly
Maybe
random
she
times, she would hit the Windows key, which would tab her out of the game. This caused her inputs to stop working. She would then need to hit the escape key to try and get back into the game. Watch this clip where she hits the Windows key and then spends 10 seconds...
Okay, so I need to move real quick. On her thing down here, she does have Control and Alt mapped on this like keylogger thing right here that shows you like what buttons that she's pressing at what time or whatever. So it's possible that she like took her thumb and meant to hit Alt and hit the Windows key instead by accident. I don't know. That movement was pretty precise though. Like when you're hitting Alt and your hands resting on your keyboard, right? Like your thumb's resting on spacebar one way or another. If you're gonna hit that Alt key, you just like curl your thumb in, I feel like, or like slide your wrist so that your thumb like goes over the gap between your spacebar and your Alt key, and then you just know like, okay, that's the Alt key because it's right next to the spacebar. You don't overshoot it. She took her whole hand up and hit the Windows key. Like as if, I don't know, like no sane person's gonna do that. You gotta like twist your elbow. Like I'm twisting my elbow right now to do that. Like, who's gonna do that?
It's trying to get the game to work again.
Here, I'm gonna move myself back over. You can kind of see it though what I'm talking about. Why is she just, yeah. So she hits the Windows key and the tabs are out of the game. She can kind of tell She's getting hit by that frost attack. It's got that garage door sounding.
This is bizarre,
sound effect to it.
And she does this multiple times without ever mentioning it. She acts as if this really weird thing that she is doing isn't happening, which is obviously really suspicious. Ultimately, it seems like this is some kind of unrelated tech issue that she was having with her eye tracker. Multiple times before she even started her blindfolded attempts, we can see her hitting the Windows key in order to fix something. She even mentioned it earlier in her stream.
So it is on purpose. Going on? What just happened here? Wait a minute. What just happened here? So her screen's off. She just dragged something onto her screen down there. Down here? Watch real quick. So she just hits Windows. And then she immediately reaches for her mouse. And then drags from the other. So is she hitting her Windows key to put her mouse on her desktop, basically, and to drag something over during the fight? She just hit it again.
This tech issue has nothing to do with her blindfolded attempts. But an important question to ask is, how did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and couldn't see, but knew there was some kind of technical issue and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this without looking, and without saying anything to her audience. It's all really bizarre. In the end, however, after discovering the truth, I realized this was a giant red herring. After several days of brainstorming, I was beginning to run out of ideas. But then,
it's got to be pre-recorded if it's fake.
I revisited a question I had from day one. There was something that Queen Pwnsalot did that was really strange, and I couldn't figure it out. Immediately after she covers her main monitor with paper, while she is attempting to distract her viewers, she holds down her left mouse button for 10 seconds. This was actually one of the very first things I noticed when investigating her run, but I never had an answer as to why she did it. Normally, when you hold a button down for a few seconds, it activates something.
Yeah.
And this was one of the reasons I thought she was using some kind of software. But I had overlooked something that was so obvious and so simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately. Once I understood what she was doing, it was game over. Holding her mouse button down for 10 seconds told me everything I needed to know. It unlocked all of her secrets. It revealed to me that there was
mouse movement.
A third hidden monitor.
Hold on. Why she's holding the left mouse button for 10 seconds and then clicks the right mouse button. I think I know. There's a third monitor. Yeah, that's him.
To me, that there was in fact a third hidden monitor. Queen Pwnsalot wants us to believe that she only has 2 monitors. When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her
So she is looking through the blindfold.
All of her other stuff on it.
To the main attraction as we get our duct tape for our main monitor because, yeah.
Duct tape.
There's the other one. So
you can turn them off, you know. You can just, there's a power button.
With all my other stuff on it.
You don't have to...
This is a lie. In truth, she has a third monitor to her right, off camera. Before she covers it with paper, you can see that her main monitor has her OBS streaming software on it. This shows her gameplay, and it also has her Twitch chat docked into it as well. One thing that struck me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this wasn't on purpose.
No problem. Alright, alright, cool. Now...
If you're not done setting up, why would you cover your monitor?
Oh god, I'm sorry, I didn't think this through.
But the reason she did this is because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still see everything she's doing. But it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it. She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key. Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
It's not doing it.
That's why we go through
not clicking. Click and hold.
You know? And it's the way that it has to be.
To the right.
And
so
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most common thing you do when you hold down your mouse button? You drag Windows. While talking, she drags her OBS to her hidden monitor on the right. We can confirm this with the input display.
Yeah, you see it go to the right.
To the right, and she even looks at her hidden monitor on the right. When
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Come on. She's looking at the monitor. Come on. We've seen her. We've been staring at her stream setup for a while now, and you can get the idea. If you've been watching me, I'll look at my OBS for some reason and then look back over here. It's like a bad habit, but come on, no way.
That's why we go through what we go through, right?
Yeah, you go through what you go through, I guess.
You know?
I don't know.
It's the way that it has to be.
Is it?
And
what do you... You can see
she
her
will use her OBS on the hidden monitor to see the game. Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left to see
I'm
the
sorry.
game.
I'm sorry. This is the last time I'll poke fun. But no, okay, at the top here, yeah, all right, she's looking at her right. She's looking over to the right. I'm looking over to the right now. But down here, man, you're literally like, you can see your chin pointing towards the other monitor.
Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left monitor.
All right.
How would you do that?
Move that over. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
She moves her mouse to the left, she looks to the left, and she even says that she's moving something. However, we can see on the input display, she doesn't even click her mouse.
Oof. Not clicking and dragging anything if you're not clicking the mouse.
Now, despite the fact her monitor on the right is supposed to be a secret, she cannot help but stare at it constantly. She even responds to this exact message in chat while looking at it. However,
she responds to this message. I would 1000% upload your run, including this whole setup you just did entirely unedited, but that's probably already been told. Huh.
Mid-sentence, she realizes how stupid this is and stops talking.
What are you looking at over there?
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
After
you messed up.
Thinking for 10 seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from the monitor on the left.
You messed up now.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
Will it? Maybe you should edit it. Holy.
What was the last thing you said? Unedited.
The funny thing about Queen Ponsalot reading chat from her hidden monitor is that it's completely unnecessary. There is no need to have chat there in the first place, and it just causes her to constantly look at it, making it obvious it's there. And it also causes her to screw up by responding to it. I'm guessing she just couldn't help herself, and she really wanted to see all of her fans talking about her as she was playing. So we know that she has a monitor.
Oh man, you're playing when you're streaming, man, and you actually get people in your chat. You know, I'm a small streamer. I don't really have many people. I got probably a handful I can name that I'm very appreciative for. They know who they are, but when you do have those people and they're talking to you and you're streaming, and she looks like she's a pretty successful streamer. I mean, looking at her setup and everything like that, and seeing how this video came off. I mean, she has, quote unquote, 4,611 Alatreon kills. That's pretty impressive. That's a lot. I've been playing this game for a long time. Cheated or not, that's a long time playing. That's a lot of kills. You know, I assume she's not using, you know, what do you call it? One-hit kill hacks or anything like that. You know, cheat engine kind of stuff. That does exist, unfortunately. But, you know, if she's streaming and stuff, she's not going to be outright one-shot killing, you know, things. It would just be, it's not entertaining, you know. So you're sitting there and you're trying to do this. You're trying to do a blindfold speedrun, and you've been streaming for so long, looking at chat, it becomes addictive, you know. As a streamer, as the content creator, it can become addictive to constantly looking over at chat, looking at your chat box, seeing if anyone's in there saying anything about what's going on. It's a rookie mistake. That's all that is.
Right, but how does she see it? Well, the secret is in how she's wearing her blindfold.
I do it all the time.
She's wearing it very, very loosely. It's barely able to stay on her face, and on top of that, she wears it very high. This is not how you're supposed to wear a blindfold. Anyone who owns a blindfold like this knows you don't wear them loose, you wear them tight. If you wear them loose, light gets in. By wearing her blindfold loose, she can see through a small gap between her nose and the blindfold. The gamer Juzzy
she like
already...
Look at that. Look. Come on, dude. What you looking at over there?
See through a small gap between her nose and the blindfold. The gamer Juzzy has already replicated her exact setup. In his case, he showed his...
This is the guy I saw. I saw this guy's blindfold kill.
He used the exact same input display.
He moves.
He had a hand cam.
He moves only as much as he needs to.
He also killed Alatreon in expert fashion. Here, he explains how he did it.
As you can see now, my monitors are off and I'm blindfolded, but despite my short-sightedness without glasses, I can clearly see these targets and shoot at them.
Yeah, there's no way you're doing that blindfolded.
It's because there's a secret here. Right now, I'm wearing the blindfold, right? But I can see out the gaps between my nose and my blindfold, and if I wore it even looser, I'd be able to see out the sides left and right in my peripheral vision. Then the next step to the trick is...
He has his monitors off.
You guys noticed?
Doesn't have paper over him.
There's two monitors here, right? But they're not the only ones. There's a third monitor on my left.
I'm done.
On top of wearing her blindfold very loosely, Queen Ponsalot also sits back in her chair and looks up in an unnatural way.
Yeah,
this
the
is to get
chin
a better
tilt.
Viewing angle.
Before
her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent around 1 hour playing with her old blindfold over multiple days and weeks. And for that entire time, she always sat like this. She was leaning forward and looking directly in front of her. This is because while her blindfold was partially obscuring her sight, she could see straight through it.
Yeah, we saw that earlier.
The monitor directly in front of her. With the new blindfold, she can't see through the front of it.
Look at that. So, I'm facing my monitor here. If I was blindfold, you know, I'm going to pretend that I am. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to be sitting kind of like this. I'm going to be facing my monitor, of course, because this is kind of like natural or whatever. But if I'm blindfolded and I got something over my eyes and I go from kind of like slouch, shrimp sitting how I am now, and I like sit up and I'm trying to look out of a blindfold or whatever, like I'm trying to look out this way through my nose, I would probably sit like this, which is kind of similar to what she's doing. My head's tilted. I'm in kind of like a weird, I'm sitting up straight on an Alatreon fight. Let me tell you again, guys, this Alatreon fight's kind of no joke. It's hard, really hard. It's the first wall that I think that Monster Hunter World puts on people. Comes very late in the game, but it's such a good like experience in my opinion. I think everybody should play Monster Hunter World and get to that point and just try it out. Especially Fatalis, that comes after. Fatalis is so much better than Alatreon, but I digress. Like the sitting stances, like what's going on here? You know?
She has now completely changed her sitting position so she can see down and to the side. This is not a normal way to sit, and world-class blindfold speedrunner Bubzia confirms that when you see someone sitting in this position, it's a giant red flag.
And if I curve up even more, but that's already...
You're like looking up.
Sus, I guess, if you sit there...
You're like trying to look down through the blindfold.
If I sit like this, for example, I can see half of my monitor. I can see OBS right now, literally. I can see the volume meters going up. I can see the picture. If I turn a bit, I can see the other monitor.
And it's as simple as that. There is a hidden monitor on the right, and she is playing through her OBS, which she discreetly moved to it. I can't believe I spent so much time researching aimbots when the solution was so stupidly basic. And while it's so easy just to say there was a hidden monitor, which some people did, it's an entirely different story to provide concrete evidence. The fact that we can literally see her move OBS to the hidden screen, the fact that she reads chat from it, the fact that she stares at it constantly, the fact that she wears her blindfold so loosely, and the fact that
you're reporting yourself there, man.
All prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is the way she cheated. But here is my favorite part. After she has killed Alatreon, and while paper is still covering her screen, she looks directly at the hidden monitor and moves the camera around perfectly. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. And beyond all of this, the simple fact remains, the way she played the game is impossible to do if you can't see. Now let's be real for a second. At the end of the day, this entire thing isn't a big deal. This is just silly, fun internet drama, and it's just really interesting to learn how Queen Ponsalot faked her blindfold runs.
I'm sure she is a very good Monster Hunter player. Probably better than me. She's got 4,600 Alatreon kills. I don't care how she did it. Blindfold, not blindfold. This person's so much better than I am at this game. But like, it's like, why do you have to cheat? You know? You can do this. Obviously, if you wanted to, you set your mind to it and set the grind towards it. With 4,600 Alatreon kills, you can definitely do it blindfolded. 100%. It's going to take some trial and error, right? You're going to die a few times. You're going to die probably like around 50, 100 times before you finally get it down. But for the most part, on the fight, it starts out the same every time, you know? And that's all you really need. Once you learn all of its attack patterns, once you learn all of its sound cues, it's all you need to be able to do it blindfold. And other people have done it before. So, why cheat? No. I want to see her do it for real, though. That would be cool. If she comes back after this, like, since this video's been up, I don't know if she's made a response or not. I hope she did. I'd like to see her response. Maybe admit to it. Maybe try to defend herself, you know? Because, you know, this is just an allegation. But it's very damning, you know? The evidence is very, very, very damning against her. But that's why cheat, man. You can do
I'm
it.
not emotionally charged about this. I just love trying to expose video game fraudsters because I enjoy it.
Right.
This whole back and forth is honestly really entertaining. But make no mistake, her behavior is not healthy, and it's not a good thing. There are gamers who spend thousands of hours legitimately trying to do amazing things without the ability to see. Blindfolded gaming takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of ingenuity.
Oh, it's very hard.
Ponsalot keeps taking a giant steaming dump on all of their efforts. Because of her actions, people are going to trust the accomplishments of real gamers even less.
That's true.
Will disproportionately rise, and the public will become even more cynical.
Yes.
But on the flip side,
people will become more skeptic.
The amount of people who threw common sense to the wayside and took her runs at face value is pretty shocking. Maybe people do need to be a bit more skeptical, and maybe this lesson was an important one to learn. Let me know what you think in the comments. I worked with a group of gamers who helped me do research for this video, including the YouTuber Abisoft, who is also releasing a video about this most recent run. I know for a fact he is including many details I haven't mentioned myself, so if you want to learn even more, please go and check out his video as well. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
That's pretty cool. This video is really good. It's Carl Jobs guy. That's very good. That's very, very good video. Oh God, Zeno, please.
Hello,
we'll get to that eventually. But why did she have to cheat, man? Like 4,600 Alatreon kills. Like, you know the fight. You know it. And you're a great sword user. Like, come on. I don't know. It's just like self-reporting, the addiction of looking at chat. Like, it gets the best of us. Happens to everyone. I'll be playing Dark and Darker, and like streaming it back like a few months back, like 6 months ago or whatever, back when I was pushing rank with Ken. And or the leaderboards rather. I didn't push rank, but the leaderboards, you know, and I would look at chat in the middle of playing songs and stuff like that. I would mess up songs in Dark and Darker, just like trying to look at chat. It's very addicting. I don't know. If she didn't self-report herself here, I think people would remain skeptic, but I don't think this video would be made. I think this was the most damning part of the accusation. You know? But I'd like to see her try it and do it for real, you know? It's hard. It's going to be hard, but you know, you can always redeem yourself and do it for real. Put the blindfold on, get to work. I can't do that shit. I probably can't kill Alatreon 4,600 times. I've killed him probably like five times, 6, maybe 7. And that's in groups too. I've never soloed Alatreon. I've done it 2-man. I've done it with 2 people, me and one other person. I kind of like enjoy doing that with Moss Hunter, right? I like playing it with friends. It's a fun solo experience, but progressing on those hard fights with the second person is a lot of fun. It's so much fun. The game's so good. But yeah, that's the video.